Ever since the debate over the North versus South Indian film industry started gaining momentum, filmmakers and fans alike have been eager to prove which industry is truly producing more content-driven and quality cinema. In the midst of this rivalry, particularly with the rise of the larger-than-life pan-Indian films, it feels like many filmmakers are prioritizing grand scale and market reach over meaningful storytelling and substance. Kanguva, starring Surya, is a prime example of this trend. With the film being marketed as his big comeback after nearly 2 years, expectations were naturally high. The makers even made bold claims about the film's success, suggesting it might even hit the 2000 crore mark at the box office. But after watching the film, one can't help but wonder, did they even watch the final cut themselves before making such ambitious predictions? So the real question is, does Kanguva live up to its hype? Does it even fulfill the most basic expectations of fans? Or is it just another flashy spectacle with little to offer in terms of storytelling or depth? So hello everyone. I have watched the film Kanguva starring Surya, and this is Cine Samvad, diving in to discuss about some good, bad and some noteworthy aspects of this film. To specially mention that the initial promotional material of the movie just places the bar of the movie so high that everyone was already hyped up for this movie. But honestly, I got skeptical about everything when I witnessed the new release trailer of the film. It just pulled my hopes down and I had my fingers crossed for the film already. Well, the plot of the film might be good on paper and runs the story in two different timelines. Plot tells the story about Francis, played by Surya, who is a bounty hunter and who in the proceedings of his work gets entangled with a boy named Zita, who seems to have some connection with Francis. Story moves backward in the past and reveals that during 1070 BC, Kanguva, played by Surya, was the king of the tribe in one of the group of islands, separately ruled by the 5 tribes. Romanians, and the leader of the other clan, Udhiran, played by Bobby Deol, poses a threat to Kanguva and his village. Meanwhile, the film shows how Kanguva has a connection with that little boy, and soon the battle outbursts between Udhiran and Kanguva, and how Francis in present connected to boy Zita and his previous life is the basic premise of the film. Now, let me start with the overall review of the film. At first glance, the story does seem appealing, and there's no denying that this is an ambitious attempt by both the director Siva and actor Surya. The premise, combining tribal warfare, reincarnation and a battle between good and evil, has the ingredients of something really exciting. But unfortunately, the execution of this vision is where the film really falters, and much of it ends up falling flat. The emotions in the film simply don't land. Initially, the action seems engaging, but as the story progresses, the impact starts to fade. It feels like nothing in this film is fully explored or given the depth it deserves. Important plot points are left underdeveloped, which makes it hard to connect with the story. Despite the scale and ambition, Kanguva never quite hits the emotional chord with the audience, and instead it becomes a bit of a letdown. If I talk about the first half of the movie, it's hard to even know where to begin. The stretch in the first half is a total cringe fest. I'm still not sure why the makers made some of the choices they did, and those opening moments really test the patience of the audience. The film begins in the present day, but it feels like a low-budget YouTube video, all in an attempt to attract a younger audience. To make the matters worse, they throw in memes and over-the-top humor that doesn't fit to the tone of the film. Disha Patni, who plays the role in these present-day sequences, is essentially just an eye candy. Her character feels more like an afterthought than an integral part of the story. It's almost as if the filmmakers weren't taking anything seriously in these portions, and if they had, maybe we could have seen a very different product. Things do start to pick up when the period portions kick in, and I have to admit, there are some intriguing bits, especially when the story shifts to 1070 BC. The film starts to show the different tribal communities, each with its own customs and leadership, and this aspect of the story actually catches your attention. Kanguva, played by Surya, is positioned as the protector of his tribe, and there's an ongoing conflict with the Romanians and other rival clans. These parts of the movie are definitely more watchable, but unfortunately, that doesn't last long. Even though the tribal setup is engaging, the film falters in almost every other department. The storytelling and writing are its biggest weaknesses. Like, take the main character Francis for instance, who's surprisingly underwritten as well. When the protagonist itself lacks depth, it's hard to care about the journey, and if the lead character isn't well developed, you can imagine what has happened to the rest of the film's characters. Forget about Disha Patni. Her role is entirely dispensable, but Bobby Deol, despite being given a potentially interesting antagonist role as Udhiran, is totally underutilized. everyone in the film feels like they're just passing through, with little depth while the focus shifts to scenes of violence and battles, most of which end up feeling repetitive. There's also an undeniable Bahubali or Magadhira vibe to the film, especially in the epic scale of the tribal conflict. But Kangua lacks the conviction and strong storytelling that made those films so successful. This movie could have been an exhilarating watch, but instead it feels like a missed opportunity. The screenplay is inconsistent. For example, there's a moment during a pre-interval scene where a child stabs Kangua to signify betrayal. The scene sets up a powerful emotional twist, but then in the very next minute, Kangua is back to fighting like nothing happened, and the boy is suddenly made to look clueless about how to wield a weapon. This lack of continuity is jarring, and you start to feel like the filmmakers just didn't pay attention to these details. One of the biggest issues with Kangua is that the film doesn't give you enough time to process any of the emotions it's trying to convey. There are numerous emotional moments throughout, but the screenplay rushes through them without ever allowing the audience to feel anything. It's as if the film is just ticking off the boxes to get to the next plot point. The pacing feels erratic, and the film doesn't give any of its characters or the audience the breathing room to really connect. And if I'm being honest, Kangua is one of the loudest movies you'll experience in a theatre. Almost every character is screaming at the top of their lungs in every scene, and the decibel levels are so high that it's almost unbearable. On top of that, the background music is equally aggressive, only adding to the overall noise. It's not just a loud film, it's a film that doesn't know when to turn the volume down to let moments breathe. Ultimately, Kangua is a classic case of a wasted potential. The film has some stunning visuals. Everything on screen looks beautiful, but the camera work alone doesn't make a film good. Big budget, flashy cinematography, and a grand scale can only take you so far, but it's the story and its execution that really matters. And in this case, Kangua fails to deliver on both the fronts. The threads that should have been the heart of the film, like the story of Zita, France's journey, the tribal feuds, and the Romanians, are all underdeveloped and left unresolved, making the film feel hollow. And just when you think the film has wrapped up, it throws in a forced cameo and teases a sequel, completely out of nowhere. This to me feels like a clear attempt to cash in on a potential franchise, even if the film hasn't earned that right. Now turning to the marks of this film, so I would give this one an honest 4 out of 10. It's clear that the makers spent most of their budget on the promotional events, which definitely hyped up the film. But unfortunately, the final product falls far short of the grand claims that they made during the promotions. I really do feel bad about this because honestly, the film had a lot of potential. It could have been something special, but in the end, it didn't quite come together to deliver a compelling story.
धरती पर उतरती है तो समझ लो आ गया है कंगुआ.
So that wraps up my review and few thoughts on the film Kangua. In my opinion, this film could have been a great period drama, but instead, it ends up being more of a hit and miss experience. The director's choices in storytelling sometimes feel outdated, which pulls you right out of the movie, and as a result, you lose interest. The film doesn't live up to its promises, and you are likely to walk away feeling disappointed. But yes, I'd love to hear what you think about this film, so do share your thoughts in the comment section of the video. Also, if you enjoyed this review, so please show your support by hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel for more content ahead. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at CineSamvad for short reviews and cinematic insights. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers!